I have said in prior videos that I believe that the first 40 minutes of an NBA game is basically entertainment. And I stand by that. I feel that way about the regular season as well. What do I mean by that? Well, in my opinion, the regular season is not particularly useful in terms of determining who the best team in the league is. That's pretty much the only function of the regular season, and that's to basically determine playoff order. But, and to entertain the fans. But enough instances wherein teams put together tremendous regular seasons and fail to win the chip have occurred for me to be persuaded that the regular season is not to be taken too seriously. And I developed this philosophy and belief in the year 2001 when I looked at that Laker team coming off of a championship and seeing how bored they were during the regular season. That team had a lot of turmoil as Kobe really came into his own as a player and essentially started to really challenge Shaq for supremacy of the team. And so, that story is well documented. We all know what happened. They went on to win that championship and then another. But what I want to talk about is the playoff run that the 2001 Lakers had that year. That is the second best playoff run in NBA history. And it is my contention that the 2001 Los Angeles Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history. In other words, the most dominant. Okay? Now, to say that, you have to get by the season record. You have to explain the season record. 56-26, very ordinary among NBA champions. Okay? And my answer is that the regular season is just not that useful. Okay? And we know that also because the 73 win Golden State Warriors didn't win the chip. And if you look at the graphic that I have posted, got about 5-6 of the highest win total teams in NBA history did not win the chip. What we have to look at is the playoff performance. And so what I did was I went through and I looked at the top 11 teams in NBA history in terms of fewest playoff losses. Okay, so these are the teams that have 3 or fewer playoff losses, and I looked at who they beat. Turns out that the 2001 Lakers beat the most 50-win teams. Okay? And I really want you to get this. The 2001 Lakers had to get by the team that almost beat them the prior year in the first round, in the Portland Trailblazers. And then in the conference finals, they had to get by the 1999 champions in the San Antonio Spurs. David Robinson, who was still a great player at that point, very, very good player at that point, and prime Tim Duncan. Okay, and interestingly, only Golden State has 3 50 wins, of wins over 50 win teams. One of those was the Kawhi Leonard San Antonio Spurs, wherein in the series wherein he got injured. So it really wasn't a real 50 win team at that point. Down at the bottom of this list, you have the 86 Celtics getting by 350 win teams. And that is considered to be one of the greatest teams in NBA history. Okay. I did a video, what was it? 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. DJ Bird, McHale, Parrish, and then Bill Walton off the bench. And then Danny Ainge was no slouch as well. So that the 2001 Lakers had to get by a more difficult gauntlet than even that 86 Celtics team really speaks to how great that team was. The Lakers went through some trials. Kobe was injured during the regular season, and historically, and what a lot of Kobe detractors like to point out, the Lakers, I think, went 11-3 in his absence. But I think when he came back, he understood how to work within the flow of the offense a little better, and it just created a tremendous dynamic. I also looked at whether the team repeated as champion. Okay, so we only have 6 of these teams that actually repeated as champion. Because to me, if you don't repeat as champion, your championship could be kind of dismissed as an anomaly. It's not as valid, if you will. So understand what's going on with this 2001 team. They are coming off of a championship run. They win the chip, go 15-1, and then win it again. Okay? Now, what I like to do to show how dominant this 2001 Laker team was, imagine prime Michael Jordan and prime Wilt Chamberlain playing together. That's what you had. That's what you had. By the way, I mean, in that same scenario, who would be the best player? Would it be Wilt or would it be Michael Jordan? So, I believe the 2001 Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history, and I am only about 75% sure of this. I'm certainly open to being challenged, and if anyone's got a differing opinion. I know that the 2017 Warriors, they were great. The problem with the 76ers in 1983, as you can see, like they really didn't, well, for one, they only won 12 games. Okay, because I think the first round was only 3 games back then. That other 3 games, that's important. So, yes, I believe that the 2001 Los Angeles Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history. And also, if you agree with me that the 2001 Lakers are in the conversation of the greatest team ever, I want to remind you that Shaq, unless he was playing with a prime Kobe Bryant, he did not lead his team to an away finals or conference finals game throughout his entire career. Okay? And so you've got that guy now on a team that is in the conversation as the greatest team in NBA history. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, who was the other component to getting him to that point? Who was the other component? Here's a guy that can't win a finals game. Okay? And then he adds one player, and all of a sudden, it's not like this team. It's stacked. Okay? You have to ask yourself, who is the other component that elevates this guy's team to such heights? Also keep in mind, Boston, 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. Golden State, 4 Hall of Famers. Philly, 4 Hall of Famers. The 96 Bulls, 4 Hall of Famers. The 91 Bulls, 2 Hall of Famers and 2 additional All-Stars. Okay? So, this should speak to why Kobe Bryant is the greatest singular component to a championship team, because look at what happens on his teams and how far they get and how little else he needs, okay, to literally make a team, one of the greatest ever.